This is the Khoodeelaar television channel being broadcast on the internet, timed at 1100 hours GMT on Friday, 9th of August 2024. The Times newspaper of London today, Friday, the 9th of August 2024, contains a news item saying that the repossessions, the numbers of people being evicted from their homes, have been going up, and they're saying that this is to do with the reduction in access to what is misleadingly called legal aid. The numbers of evictions going up persistently for a very long time, and no major action to stop the evictions is in sight. The numbers of people without homes is on the rise, and the various treaties, charters, declarations, conventions that the post Brexit United Kingdom remains signatory to, that allegedly uphold the rights of people to housing, to care, to safety, and the support of the local councils. All of these signed up to agreements ratified by the United Kingdom are being violated. Despite the historical massive landslide, numbers of MPs that the Keir Starmer fronted Labour Party has in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom, no sign appears that this huge majority is going to be used to bring an end to the uncertainty of housing. Housing, lack of housing and lack of home is a deadly deficit and denial of rights. Now, in the London Borough of Newham, which is in the east end of London, or in East London, the numbers of homelessness, numbers of people being in desperate need for a home is and are increasing. And there is no sign in the behavior of the department, that is deprivation, want, and poverty creation, that is DWP, that is actually addressing the issue of aggravated violations of human rights caused by the rising cost of living. And most applications, what is called for pension credit for most of the people who are on official pension, are denied, rejected by the DWP. The various so-called voluntary organizations that are supposed to be helping people in states of homelessness, the list is considerably long. About 20 to 30 big UK-wide organizations exist, claiming to their donors and supporters that they're helping people in the most vulnerable categories, including people in their 70s who are homeless, made homeless. There is no sign that any action in the judicial system is being taken to deal with these violations. And the judicial system, which has been in the news of the last 10 days, especially after the massacre of the 3 children, 3 girls, were followed by anti-Muslim racists causing riots across England, where the main newspapers, the Fleet Street newspapers, are running headlines like, courts are taking tough action. In today's Daily Mail, they are saying that courts are actually treating these rioters as many of the terrorists have been used, targeted, treated as. And these rioters' appearances in courts are being televised, as happened in 2 cases according to the Daily Mail of today. Friday, the 9th of August 2024. But there is absolutely no comparable mention of any toughness needed by the courts against the private owners of private properties, land that are evicting people at grotesque rate. Neom Council has been funding an organization called the Joy Foundation. According to the Joy Foundation's website, the Joy Foundation has been providing people with temporary accommodation for the last 30 years. The actual fact is that most of the people are referred to the Joy Foundation by Neom Council. There is no evidence that the Neom Council is actually being proactive in holding the Joy Foundation to account. And the Joy Foundation is the biggest organization in Neom that is paid, literally paid hundreds of thousands of pounds, hundreds of millions of pounds every single year. There is no account. There is no accountability as to the efficiency of the money being given to the Joy Foundation. Joy Foundation is not fit for purpose based on the evidence. And the evidence is stark of negligence, contempt, disrespect, and callousness. Now, the nearest Neom Council organization, the unit that would be connected with the Joy Foundation's behavior, would be a thing called the Adult Social Care section of the Neom Borough Council. But looking at the behavior of the adult social care personnel, it is impossible to connect their behavior with the needs of the people that are supposedly being catered for, being supported. The existence of a statute, 2014 statute, called the Care Act 2014, is treated with contempt by Neom Council employees in the adult social care service. There are literally thousands of outstanding cases every single week, warranting the attention and the focus of the Neom's Council's executive elected mayor, a woman called Roxana Fiaz. No evidence exists that she actually cares. According to the report in the evening in the London daily online newspaper called Independent, the independent.co.uk, an online report published on the 13th of November 2018, a single mother who was desperate to escape her abusing partner approached the Newham Council Social Services, and she said to them during the night when she sought their help that she was in desperate position and she was hungry. She needed food. The social services told the mother that they couldn't help her, and so therefore she was forced to drink the milk meant for her baby, for her to survive the night. Now, this was published in the Independent on Tuesday, the 13th of November 2018, and this was connected with a fact-finding, so-called fact-finding visit of Newham as one of 8 or 9 places that were visited by the then Special Envoy on Hardship and Poverty. Special Envoy appointed by the United Nations Organization, a man called Philip Alston, ALS for sugar, TON, Australian-born and schooled law professor who was mainly based at the University of New York. So Alston, despite the fact that he's a professor, that he was given the venerated position of the United Nations Special Envoy, Alston produced a completely stupid, misleading, unfit for purpose report. The day that Alston produced that report, published that report officially in 2019, was the day that the then new Secretary of State for the DWP, Department for Want and Poverty Creation, Deprivation and Want and Poverty Creation, Amber Rudd took office. And this was actually within 24 hours of Esther McVie, her predecessor, having ceded the position and been followed by the appearance as the appointed cabinet secretary of Amber Rudd. So Amber Rudd actually was in temporal position of having to remark and respond to the report that the British media Fleet Street painted as being critical of the UK government about hardship and poverty creation. But it was actually a stupid, ignorant, ill-written, ill-researched, ill-thought, idiotic report because Alston had never had come within 1,000 miles of experiencing the deadly hardship that are experienced by the people targeted by the UK, deprivation, want, and poverty creation. So he wrote a very diluted account of what was happening. It was a completely unoriginal report that was authored by Philip Alston. And yet Amber Rudd, in her first report as the newly appointed Secretary of State, rejected. She actually used the term reject Alston's report. And Alston had nothing to come back on. because Alston was ignorantly kind of advised by his team, and Alston had no first-hand experience, no second-hand experience of what was being done by the various UK departments that cause homelessness, cause poverty, cause hunger. In the previous 10 years, prior to the Alston report, the same newspaper, Independent Co. UK, was one of the news organizations that had published the report saying that the Department for Want and Poverty Creation had been following a policy of driving the most vulnerable people seeking the DWP's help to commit suicide because the DWP was refusing to give them help to survive. And Alston actually did not connect the two. So the New Borough Council was accused of having employed people in the social services who blatantly refused to help the woman, a mother of single baby, and then instead asked her to find her own way of surviving the night. Hearing that account given in front of Philip Alston at an event held in a place called Community Links in the Barking Road, the newly installed elected executive mayor of Newham, Roxana Fias, who was attending the meeting where Alston was hearing evidence. After hearing the account of the woman who described how the Newham Council Social Services refused to help her, Roxana Fias included a staged apology for the behavior of the people employed by Newham Council. That was the main heading that was reported by the reporters, social services correspondent called May Bullman in the online Independent of the 13th of November 2018. But that's it. She said that she was apologizing for the behavior of these people that Newham Council employed. But nothing has changed. This is 8 years since she apologized or staged the apology. And what the Newham Council's relationship with the Joy Foundation shows is that the Joy Foundation is behaving identically with the social services personnel employed by the Newham Council. The foundation shows contempt to the requirements to show respect to the people, adult social care service needing people. And so therefore, routinely, habitually, the Joy Foundation treats the people with contempt. What are you looking for? Hello? What place are you looking for? Hospital. If you go left, keep walking about 5 minutes, and on the left you can see the hospital, yeah? A and D as well.